This year marking 100 years since 7 American states signed an agreement to divide the waters of the Colorado. This was known as the Colorado River Compact, and a century has passed since then. The region and the climate also dramatically changing. The intensifying crisis facing the Colorado River amounting to what is fundamentally a math problem.
The challenges on the Colorado River are plainly evident today. We know that because the river hasn't run regularly to the sea in most years in the last half century. We know it because for the last 20 years, we've been watching these giant reservoirs that store Colorado River water decline bit by bit, year after year.
During the past 2 decades, the situation on the Colorado River has become significantly more unbalanced, more dire. A drought, which the scientists believe to be the driest 22-year stretch in the past 1,200 years, has gripped southwestern U.S., constricting flows in the river. Until recently, water managers and politicians whose constituents rely on the river have avoided the most difficult questions: how to rebalance a system in which the demand far outpaces the supply. Instead, the water managers have drained the country's 2 largest reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, faster than the nature refills them. In 2000, both reservoirs were about 95% full, but today, both of them are each about 27% full.
But in the Colorado River Basin, more conservation and demand management are needed, in addition to the actions already underway. Between 2 and 4 million acre-feet of additional conservation is needed just to protect critical levels in 2023.
And that was not all. The drafters of the key pact had the power to decide who would receive the water and how much.
So the Colorado River Compact was negotiated and signed by the representatives of 7 states, 7 white men who represented colonial white settlers who had pretty recently arrived in this part of the country, and they divided the water amongst themselves and their constituents without recognizing water needs for Mexico, the water needs of Native American tribes who are living in their midst, and without recognizing the needs of the environment.
At present, the states are left with the only sustaining option: voluntary and mandatory cutbacks. Most recently, the federal officials asked the states to come up with a plan to reduce the water use by about 15% next year. That's an unprecedented move that reflects equally unprecedented circumstances that are being witnessed. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.